Trump bids the nation farewell. And what can I help you achieve? That's what we're going to be discussing here tonight live. So stick around for all that and much, much more that's coming right. Live from Northern California, welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell so that way you won't miss a single thing when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. That's right. I'm here to help as many people as possible in 2021 and beyond get the best possible grip on their life so that way you can all accomplish whatever it is that your heart desires or hearts desire. Plural. I want to help many people as possible because I love people. I love everyone, regardless of where you come from, regardless of your shape, regardless of your age, regardless of your race, regardless of your, sexual orientation. It doesn't matter. I love each and every one of you. Everyone is unique and special in their own way. So, hey, I want to help people get what they want, as long as it's positive. There's no negativity allowed here in Coach Eli's world. So that is that. Before we get to it here, I want to make sure that the notification has gone out on YouTube, and it looks like it has. And let me make sure that the back end is rolling well. And it looks like it is. And I just want to briefly check on Facebook, as always, because once again tonight we are simulcasting live on Facebook. Make sure that the notification is, and I just want to briefly check on Facebook, as always, because once again tonight we are perfect. There are 2 people viewing on Facebook already and 5 people currently on YouTube. Thank you so much for spending your wonderful evening tonight, your Tuesday evening with Coach Eli. Now, before we move further, I also want to pay special props to this channel sponsor. That's none other than the great Troy Brewer, who is the CEO, founder, and owner of the Discover Community Network. For all of your product and service needs from the most trusted professionals in the industry, please visit www.discovercommunitynetwork.com. One more time, that's www.discovercommunitynetwork.com. You can also visit a subsidiary of the Discover Community Network known as the DCN Internet Radio Network. When you go on that website, you're going to find a bunch of talk and music internet radio stations, and more than likely one of those talk or music internet radio stations will suit your talk or music genre needs. So if you like to listen to talk or music, if I haven't emphasized that enough already, please check out www.dcninternetradionetwork.com. One more time, www.dcninternetradionetwork.com. If you're on the YouTube side of things, both of those links, that's what I'm trying to say, both of those links are below in the description. There we go. I'm just too excited here tonight. So check them out, and if you go to those websites, please feel free to reach out to Troy by email or by phone. If you reach out to Troy, do not forget to mention that Coach Eli sends you with lots and lots of love. All right. Let me just check out Facebook and see if anyone is there. Is anybody out there on Facebook and you want to share anything regarding the topic of this show or anything in general regarding life coaching? I'm also taking questions here tonight. I'm not going to be too terribly long. I'm going to share my thoughts regarding, President Trump's final day in office and his farewell video that he, I guess, recorded yesterday or the day before and was finally released today. I got a chance to view it, and I'm not surprised, to say the least. And I'm saying that from a neutral standpoint, even though I'm not a Trump supporter. If you are, that's okay. I still love you. I love everybody. But, I'm going to share my unbiased opinions regarding what he said. I'm also going to be discussing some other things, such as there's a huge National Guard presence in the D.C. area, and they're protecting the inauguration, and they're going to be protecting also the Capitol building, and so it's just pretty crazy. And a few members of the National Guard had to be removed. I'll share my thoughts regarding that because the creators on the right or the far right or the right-wing extremists have shared their thoughts, and we always know that they challenge everything, even if it makes sense to protect the country as a whole. They're going to challenge everything. If someone or something is removed to protect us from possible danger, they're going to try to make a big stink about it and say, well, there was no reason to remove them. There's no reason to have that big of a National Guard, presence. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. I'll share more about that in just a little bit. On the YouTube side of things, we have Mutt Nuts World. Welcome to the show, Mutt. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Again, folks, feel free to share your thoughts regarding anything going on in the political realm. If you're going to share your thoughts, please do it professionally and maturely. I do not want to have to remove everyone. I want to keep this clean. I want to keep the discussion civil. And you can also ask me any questions regarding life coaching. If you have any questions regarding business or personal aspects of your life that you need help with, feel free to put them in the chat on Facebook or on YouTube. So if you're, working in the corporate world and you're, trying to get promoted and you're struggling getting promoted, and you have a question about that, I can respond to that and give you my best advice. If you're looking to transition from working in the corporate world or working for somebody else into becoming a self-employed entrepreneur, I can transition that. Any type of business topics you folks want to ask questions on, feel free. Also on the personal side of things, I love talking about relationships and male and female relationship dynamics, dating and marriage in the modern world. That's a big specialty of mine. I've done a lot of research and work on that, and I've had personal experiences regarding that. So if you have any questions regarding, dating, if you're struggling to find true love, what am I doing wrong? I did this, it didn't work, blah, blah, blah. My marriage is failing, what's really going on? If you have any questions like that, folks, please feel free to put them in the chat, and I would be happy to respond to them as the show goes on. All right. Mutt Nuts World. Mutt. Oh, she just made a comment on the YouTube side of things. She says, I am here listening, just resting my foot. I slipped in some water that I spilled and ran my toe into the wall and broke it. Oh, God. Mutt, I hope you went to the doctor. That requires a doctor visit, Mutt. I hope you went to the doctor because you got to get that x-rayed and checked out. So I hope you're doing okay. Hope you're doing okay. Besides that, hey, Mutt, how do you like my new outfit? I just ordered a couple of new, workout outfits and shirts. I found some good deals on Costco.com. I love Costco. I got this nice shirt. I think it's like by a company called Spider. And it just feels really nice. I mean, definitely can wear this on the hiking trail or even just out for a night in the town. And I just love how it feels. This thing normally goes for, I think the regular price was like $60, and I got it for like $19.97. When things are clearance, you have that like 97 or 94 or 99 or 98, right? So Costco has some great. If you folks are looking for some great deals on clothing, this is an unpaid endorsement. Costco.com is a great place to look, or just go into Costco. You can find some better deals. But anyway, broke G can't type, she says. Yeah, that's how I know it broke, because you went to the doctors. Great, good. I'm glad you went to the doctors on that. She goes, it's cool. Well, thank you so much, Mutt. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So again, if you're on the Facebook side of things watching or the YouTube side of things, please feel free to ask any questions regarding any life coaching topics you want some help with. Like my thumbnail says on my stream, it says Trump's farewell and what may I help you achieve. And let's get to the topic right now and read the actual topic, which is similar to the thumbnail. Trump's farewell, my thoughts, and what may I help you accomplish. One more time. Trump's farewell, my thoughts, and what may I help you accomplish. Really want to help as many people as possible accomplish whatever it is that your heart or heart's desire. So please, folks, ask those questions. If you're not here live, if you're watching this on the replay, ask the questions in the comments section. And I'm going to start doing more of these streams where I'm going to be just taking questions in the chat. So, if you're watching this on the replay and you prefer to engage live, I think I'm going to start more so incorporating this into all of my future streams from here on out. All right. So let's get right to it. Everyone knows that a little over a week ago, President Trump, for I guess less than 1 day, he has 1 day left, less than 1 day left in office, was removed from pretty much all of mainstream social media because social media saw him as a threat to the safety of our nation with the upcoming inauguration of President-elect Joe Biden, which is happening tomorrow. So they basically, they practically silenced President Trump, Donald Trump. And they did it, in my opinion, for safety reasons. Still to this day, everyone on the right and the far, not everyone on the right, but a lot of the people on the far right extremists are not too happy about this. They continue to whine and complain and say you're silencing his freedom of speech. And that's not what they're trying to do. They're trying to protect the safety of our country from a president, in my opinion, that's, lost his marbles from inciting further, hate and violence on our nation. So, we've been dealing with not only Trump being silenced, but a lot of people on the right and the far right especially are getting silenced. There's another content creator I follow. He's a conservative content creator. His name is Tim Pool. He has a pretty big network. He's been doing political commentary for a while. He used to be on the left, but now he's more so on the right. And he's even mentioned that he's been, shadow banned on Facebook or partially banned or something. He can't post in certain areas or something like that. I can't remember exactly what happened to him, but he's been starting to get silenced. And the reason is because, he continues to talk about things that have been proven to not be true. And that's after every social media company, including YouTube, where we're at right now, and Facebook as well. We're simulcasting there as well. They put out the same rules. Twitter as well, and many others. And basically, all these companies warned and said, look, if you continue to make baseless claims of widespread voter fraud happening and continue to incite that and put that out there in that way, we're going to remove that content, or we're going to temporarily ban you or permanently ban you. Okay? I mean, enough is enough. The election was lost a couple months ago. It's over. We're about to inaugurate the new president tomorrow. Stop talking about those things. You're flooding the servers of these social media sites with a bunch of garbage. You're wasting server space and internet bandwidth to put out a bunch of garbage, right? So, because of that, the only avenue President Trump has had to put things out to the public is through recording pre-recorded videos. He has not gone out in public and really done much of anything lately. And I think the mainstream media, in my opinion, has just decided that they really don't want to broadcast any more of his shenanigans. So the only way that he's been able to communicate with the nation and the world is through pre-recorded videos. And today he released his final video. It was about, I think it was like 19 or 20 minutes long. And it was totally scripted. You could tell it was totally scripted. And, you know, I've read scripted stuff before. And when you read scripted stuff, especially if you're looking at a teleprompter, you can try to make it appear as natural sounding as possible, as genuine as possible. But I got to tell you, in my opinion, I mean, that was written for Trump. And I could tell he was struggling to say what, what was scripted as part of his, or scripted for his farewell video. No, I just got a message behind the scenes. Okay, cool. Somebody I haven't heard from in a while. They're doing okay. That's good. That's great to hear. All right. So let me check out Facebook real quick. Okay, nothing happening on Facebook. All right. So this thing was totally scripted. It sounded very inauthentic. And President Trump did what I figured he would do. He did the same thing. And I say this respectfully, but, this is what a lot of the far-right extremists, right-wing extremists do. They project their insecurities. They feel the need when they've been removed from something, or even if, they're a part of something, right-wingers, especially on the far right, they feel the need to show off what they've done. Hey, Firewall Studios, Chris, welcome to the show, bro. Thank you so much for being here. So again, like I said, Trump was basically talking about everything that he did for this country. And he went through everything, line by line by line, totally scripted, right? Trying to make it appear like he did so many great things for this country. Now, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I will say there are a few things that Trump did that were fine, even in my eyes. And there are some other things that he did that, I'm either kind of on the fence on or disagree with. I'm not going to get into it line by line. We'll be here forever. But regardless of what he did, why did he focus the entire time? Not the entire time, but the majority of the time, saying what he did for this nation on his way out. Again, this is something that I've noticed many right-wing extremists or people on the far right, or how do I say this? I've said it before, I'll say it again. In my opinion, there are different types of conservatives. The conservatives that are the extremists and the conservatives that do this are typically the conservatives that are in the red states, in the Midwest and the South. The red states, Trump territory. These are people, with no disrespect, that are lower class people, and they are people that are not the most educated people. I'm trying to say this respectfully, but this is the truth. And these are people that have come from broken households and haven't had the greatest lifestyle or upbringing. Okay? So, excuse me a second here. So a lot of these people, when they get the slightest opportunity to, have someone's platform, for example, I've had some of these conservatives come onto my channel that also run a YouTube channel, and whenever I bring someone on my channel to interview them, I always ask them, 'cause I'm a coach, I'm a business and personal relationship coach, I ask them, what do you do for a living? Tell me a bit about yourself, right? And when you ask someone that, they should, give you some details, but get to the point as quickly as possible. And then let's move on to talking about other things to get to know you, right? Okay. When I brought on some of these conservatives in the past, asking them that question, they've gone off for 30 to 45 minutes saying that, well, I built this business, I made $1 million here, and that allowed me to buy this really nice car. I've got this Corvette in the driveway, and I've got this, I met the wife of my dreams. She's very beautiful and sexy, and like they start showing off what they have instead of telling us about who they are. There's a difference between, in my opinion, there's a difference between sharing what you do for a living and what your purpose and passion is, right? And showing it off. A lot of these right-wingers will show off, and they do it because it's an insecurity. It makes them feel better. They're seeking validation, and it's pretty freaking sad. It's really sad. Muttonless World says, I am okay other than breaking my toe. Fireball Studio says, I don't mean to be off topic, but I haven't been around that much because I was diagnosed with scoliosis, and my lower back, I have severe arthritis problems. I'm sorry to hear about that, bro. Are you able to walk around okay, dude? Are you doing all right? I'm really sorry to hear about that, Chris, a.k.a. Firewolf Studios, man. God bless you, man. I'll say a prayer for you, man. So, in essence, that's what President Trump did. He spent the majority, if not almost all of the entire video showing off and trying to justify what he did, and he was a great president, thinking he's a great president, right? When he was asked, well, actually, he wasn't asked, it was just him reading the script. When he discussed the COVID section, he briefly mentioned that, we were able to, in 9 months, get vaccines created and get these vaccines to start rolling out very, very quickly, where he said, in other eras or, administrations, it would have taken 5 to 10 years. That is definitely not true. That is definitely not true, President Trump, for the last day. And while that is, while what you said is true, we got it done quickly. It doesn't mean that other administrations would have not been able to get it done. What you're leaving out, President Trump, is the fact that you promised to have 20 million people vaccinated by the end of the year, right? And there weren't even 20 million vaccinations distributed by that point. Now the numbers have gone up. I can't remember exactly what they are, but I think there have been over 30-something million vaccines distributed, and I think 15 to 20 million people, it's getting closer to 20 million, if not at 20 million already, have been vaccinated finally. But now we're looking at, January 19th. You made a promise that that would happen by the end of the year, and it didn't happen. And while that wasn't happening, instead of, trying to find a way to make that happen, President Trump, you were out golfing every day, and you were complaining that there was widespread voter fraud and going everywhere and suing everyone instead of doing your job. You didn't talk about that, right? You just said, hey, you had a script written for you that could be as positive as possible, right? And you think that you're not going to get critiqued and criticized and scrutinized for your scripted speech, where you really weren't that transparent and honest. I wouldn't go as far and say that Trump's speech was dishonest, but all he did was focus on the positive things, and he didn't take ownership of any of the negative things that he did to put us where we're at right now. I got to be honest and say, I think that was one of the most pathetic, rehearsed, and scripted speeches I've ever seen. It was pathetic. I've never seen anything more pathetic in my entire life. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Give me a second here. Let me check out. Nothing happened over on the Facebook side of things. And on YouTube, it looks like we are clear. All right. So that was my thoughts on his speech. I was expecting to hear more. I was expecting to hear a lot more. I was expecting for Trump to take ownership of things that he did, or at least talk about them. He went nowhere near them. Why? Because he's a big, deep doo-doo. He's been impeached for a second time, and after Biden gets into office, then it's going to go to the Senate. He's going to have a trial for his impeachment through the Senate, and he may be convicted of insurrection. Incitement of insurrection. He did incite it. He did. Because here's the thing. If President Trump, Donald J. Trump, thought that he was completely innocent, he would talk about anything and everything, including that, right? But he's keeping his mouth shut, right? Because that's what he's been advised to do. The damage has been done, right? You don't want to make your fate any worse, Donald, right? So you're going to zip it and just basically create a speech and try to go out sounding like a saint. Pathetic. It's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. Now, another thing that's been going on, there are a ton of National Guard members all over the D.C. area. And there's a lot of police presence all over the country at every single Capitol building, and more so in the D.C. area because of the inauguration, because of the Capitol building, the White House, etc., right? And what happened? What happened recently? A few members of the National Guard were removed because of the fact that they were found to be a part of a parlor group that was a hateful, a hate-inciting parlor group. And they were removed. What are my thoughts about that? They needed to be removed. They needed to be removed. Does that mean that they're necessarily going to do something wrong? No, it doesn't mean that they're going to do something wrong. But do you think that we're going to take any chances now from having any rogue members of our military or our government? And some members of our military and our government have already gone rogue. Do we want to chance other people going rogue and then having something more serious happen at the inauguration tomorrow? And see, you right-wingers, no disrespect, you right-wingers like you, Tim Pool, he's doing a live stream on this right now. He did a video on this earlier. He keeps talking about this. They're removing these National Guard people because they think that they're, white supremacists or something like that. No, it's not about that, man. It's not about that. It's nothing to do with any of this stuff that you conservatives always say it is. It has to do with the fact that they're associating with groups that are known to do bad things. Does that mean they're going to do bad things themselves? No. But is it worth the risk? No. And if they were really, really good people, why would they be a part of those groups anyway? Why would any good human being want to be a part of a group that incites hate and violence? Why? Especially if you're a part of the National Guard, if you're a part of our armed forces or our government. Why would you associate yourself with any group that's known to do crazy and unlawful things when you're supposed to be, supporting the law and living the law as an example? I don't get this. I just cannot stand these people that think, these people should be allowed to do whatever they want to do, say what they want to say, and we shouldn't take action, any members of our military or our government, that are associating with known terrorist type of groups? Why associate with those groups in the first place? Why? I think it's ridiculous, in my opinion. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And they did the right thing. Let me check Facebook one more time. I'm going to start wrapping this up here in a second. I really love how this outfit feels. It just feels nice, and it's nice and keeps you warm, but it doesn't overheat you. It's freaking awesome. What a great buy for $20. Anyway, let me check out Facebook one more time. Hey, Darren, what's up, dude? I know we need to talk, man. We need to get a chance to talk back then. We're going to connect really soon, bro. I'm sorry about that, man. I know we've been kind of swamped. Darren says, need to move on to the next president peacefully. Unacceptable what happened. You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. It's unacceptable what happened. But to me, what bothers me more than what happened is that all of these Trump supporters, all of these right-winged extremists, primarily conservatives living in the Midwest and the South, and they are primarily Caucasian, middle-aged Caucasian conservative men. And that's why, I was saying this other content creator, Tim Pool, was saying that, they're stereotyping them because, these guys are white. They're thinking they're white supremacists, and they were part of the parlor group, so they're thinking that they're going to go rogue and do something stupid tomorrow. Well, we're not saying that they're going to do that. We're not saying they're going to go rogue and go crazy and start shooting everyone and start, start creating more chaos than what happened at the Capitol building weeks ago. But why risk it? Why risk it? That's the thing. Why risk it? It's not worth it. See, that's what happens, again, when these right-wingers, no disrespect, these right-wing extremist conservatives from the Midwest and the South, these people that are, no disrespect, they're lower-class people, they're not as educated as some of us are, not a big deal, but they're uneducated, they're lower class, they were raised in a broken household, they haven't had the best upbringing, they haven't lived the prettiest life, they've been struggling all their lives. And now Trump comes into office, starts focusing on these people, and these people finally think that, they're now getting their opportunity to have a say. And the reason why they're flipping out now is because now that Trump is leaving, these people feel they're no longer going to have a say. It's not the case. You will have a say if you're reasonable. If you're reasonable and mature and professional and stop attacking people and inciting violence, then we'll listen to you. And you're not being silenced because you're conservative. You're being silenced because you're a bunch of immature, insecure, emotionally unstable, mentally unstable, grown, middle-aged Caucasian men. And I'm Caucasian myself, right? I'm Caucasian myself, and this, to me, is despicable. It's despicable. So that's why they removed these National Guardsmen. That's why they removed them. But yet, still, these right-wingers, and especially these right-wingers that are doing political commentary on YouTube and other platforms, are saying this is ridiculous. What's it going to take for these people to realize that it's ridiculous? Is it going to take the U.S. just imploding? Being completely destroyed? I'm at a loss for words. Muttnuts World says, we'll catch up with everyone later. Going to take my pain meds and get some sleep. Have a busy day tomorrow. Mutt, thank you for stopping by. We're going to wrap this up here in a second anyway. So that is that. So finally, the Trump era ends, and tomorrow starts a new day. I'm going to pray to God right now and throughout the rest of the night and all day tomorrow that nothing crazy happens tomorrow. The last thing we need is something crazy to happen tomorrow. I really hope it goes smoothly. I don't want anything to go wrong, but I have this sick feeling in my head that something's gonna happen. That someone's gonna try something. Someone's plotting something. I really hope that our police and our military and our government is prepared for this. On land, by air, and in certain areas, even by sea. There are many different ways people can come at you. You can't be blindsided right now. We got to be in defense mode. We got to be in defense mode to protect our country, in my opinion, from a bunch of very, very hurt, emotionally unstable, and mentally unstable people. That just don't want to see the truth. It's really sad to me. It's almost like you want to reach out to these people and just try to help them get better, but they're not open to it. They're not in the right mindset. They've had a horrible life. And again, they feel like when Trump came into office that Trump was their savior. And now that Trump lost the election, these people are angry and revolting because they feel like they're going to go back to not having a say again. You folks have always had your say. The reason why a lot of people don't listen to you is because you guys are ridiculous. You're ridiculous. And you're so set in your ways, you're not open to a civil conversation, to debate things, and to meet in the middle and compromise. There's no compromising with these people. It's either their way or the highway. And then they say the same thing about the people on the left, that it's either our way or the highway. No, the people on the left more so will compromise and will talk about things professionally and maturely. And even some people on the right handle it the same way. I'm not talking about everyone on the right, because I have, like I've said in the past, I have a lot of friends here in California that are conservative, and they're good people, and they're very reasonable people. The group of people I'm talking about are the Trump supporters that live in the Midwest and the South, and they are the lower class, uneducated, middle-aged, Caucasian conservative men and women, but primarily the men. Just look at the riot at the Capitol building. Look at the majority of people that were rioting. They're exactly the type of people that I mentioned. I just hope one day that these people can all grow up, become more mature, more mentally and emotionally stronger, and start working with everyone, not trying to attack people for silly reasons. And that's where I'm going to wrap this show here tonight, folks, at 39, almost 40 minutes. That being said, I want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you to Darren for being here on the Facebook side. He gets back and says, stupid, everything goes smooth. He hopes everything goes smooth tomorrow. I want to thank Mutton Nuts World for being here on the YouTube side of things, and also Firewolf Studios. I will more than likely be back on their show tomorrow, folks. So have yourselves a great night, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Bye.